Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to Friday Night Flights. This is our final race in our current summer season of 2017. We've been running at Daytona all week, and the boys have been having a very good time out here. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening, and this is KMA TV. Right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big shout out there to Blaze Pizza. Greg McClendon, our sponsor of Friday Night Flights. We'll be seeing Greg out here tonight, running along with George Stratton and Howard Bell, and the boys from Dark Horse Racing. It would be a really cool thing for Greg McClendon to be in that winner's circle tonight, but we're going to see how that goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Daytona. Daytona International Speedway Oval. Great track, very difficult track though. 2.479 miles long, four turns out here. Now that sounds pretty simple, but the whole trick of Daytona, as you know, it's got the apron. And if these drivers get too close down onto that apron and they do what we call pop the apron, they're going to go for a ride. And if they go for a ride on this big track, with this many drivers, mayhem will definitely ensue. Drivers are taking up their qualifying times. Want to give a big shout out there to Travis Browder. Now, Travis Browder won the Tuesday night series. Tuesday night brought to you by Jason Russo and Pro Automotive. He was our season champion, and it does appear he has got an extremely good shot at making that happen tonight. Drivers have lined up for their qualifying field. I want to take a look at that qualifying order out there on that number one position. We're looking at Greg McClendon out there with a 47.179. Pretty cool deal there. Congratulations to Greg McClendon. Side by side with Howard Bell, 47.179. George Stratton with a 47.215. The Dark Horse boys laying it out there in positions 1, 2, and 3. Mark Allen in fourth with a 47.223, running for Unacceptable Racing, along with Tommy Ryan and Jeff Ryan, also with Unacceptable, with a fifth and sixth position. Travis Browder sitting back in seventh. Mitchell Reeves representing Southeast in 8th. Colin Bauer in 9th, and Edward Bray with Black Talon Racing sitting back in 10th position. 11th position belonging to Gary Whitmer. Our Monday night sponsor, side by side with the number 72 of Matthew Davis. Lee Staples in 13th position, and the number 64. Side by side with Chris Hogue in the number 6 tonight. Ronald Klein, position 15th. Side by side with Ben Gear for position 16. 16, one of my favorite numbers. Craig Kinney back in 17th. Freeman Kelly in 18th position. David Casey in 19th. Richard Brose, Thursday night's winner. Congratulations to Richard Brose, sitting back in 20th. Paul Pellisier at the number 31, sporting out in position 21, side by side with Jason Russo, Pro Automotive, in 22nd position. 23rd position belonging to Lee Ryerson Jr., Kevin Scott Nelson in 24th, Joel Guy in 25th. In the rear of the field, we have Danny Rudy in position 27. All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to kick it off for 100 laps out here at Daytona. And I tell you what, I am very impressed with our pole setter out here tonight, Greg McClendon. He has got the Dark Horse Racing boys up there side by side, Howard Bell and George Stratton. George Stratton will be on the tail of the number 40 and the number 24 tonight. Howard Bell in the number 88. We're going to see how these dark horse racers work out tonight. The final race of our Friday night flight series. Big gap up there already on that front line between first and third position. Come on there, number 24. Let's tighten up that field. It's going to cause a checkup. Going to keep an eye on Travis Browder. Travis Browder, our points leader out here. Getting ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen.
Green flag.
Race car is in. Away goes the number 40 and the number 88. Elite staying outside. That might be a violation on the number 88. I'd rather change lanes forward. Across that start-finish line. That is exactly what number 88 did. Number 40, Mark Allen, and the number 19, Bud Light. Representing unacceptable racing. Here comes number 24, sitting back in for position. Number 7 up, Tommy Ryan. Trying to work with the number 8 of Jeff Ryan, brother. Travis Browder having different things on his mind. But he's got the number 13 of Colin Bauer caught on his tail. Like formation on that inside lane, outside lane, seemingly falling apart, with the exception of number 2 and number 8. Mitchell Reeves and Jeff Ryan trying to make something happen on that outside lane. Caution is out. A bit of contact there on the double side position. Actually, having a little bit of net code going on. Number 6 of Chris Hogan, net code 04, trying to get out of the way and inadvertently gets into the side of the number 90. Definite net code there on the number 6. Playing I'm here and I disappear and then I'm going to reappear again. Well, it happens, ladies and gentlemen. First caution of the night. Sitting out here at Daytona. Greg McClendon will be our race leader. Now I imagine at this point in time, Greg McClendon's going to stay out of pit row, and indeed, Greg McClendon staying out of pit row, working hard to get caught up to that pace car. Early caution out due to a little bit of net code going on. Greg McClendon just about ready to catch that pace car. Slowing it down, passing that pace car. Now he's going to have to wait for that pace car to get caught back up to him. Common occurrence out here on those speedways. Greg McClendon finding his line into formation. How about it, Greg McClendon? Have you got a copy?
Gotcha, Scott.
Alrighty, I want to give you a big shout out here and a thank you, sir, for sponsoring up the Friday Night Flight Summer 2017 series. Give us a recap. Are you proud you put this one here on? Has there been a few too many wrecks? What are your thoughts on this season that you so proudly sponsored up?
Well, this season has been a kind of a grab bag, a mixed bag of things going on, but you know, for the most part, I couldn't be happier with KMA Racing and everybody that made this thing possible. So I'm very, very pleased overall with the results that we've been able to achieve here, and we can only get better from here. Familiarity with folks, we've been able to do some great things here. And I really think we're on the verge of that here in KMA Racing, and I just hope to be able to continue that tradition. I am a proud sponsor of whatever KMA races at this point. Blaze Pizza currently is my sponsor, and they have big friendly smiles, lively fun interactions. We always say yes. Zoom go really fast and exceed expectations, baby. That's what we do every day, all day here at Blaze Pizza. So if you guys haven't been to one yet, you need to get to one real soon because it will change your mind about how you think about pizza.
I definitely will agree with that, and I have been to my local Blaze Pizza. I've been there 3 or 4 times. Great stuff. I tell you what, I was talking to the fans though real quick, Greg, and I said, you know, what would be really, really cool is if the Friday night sponsor won the final race of the Friday Night Flight Series, and you went up there and you done qualified up there in first position. You're in first position now. Are you thinking you might can win this?
It's very early on, Sky. I'm not gonna, count my chickens before they hatch, but I got a lot of familiarity with Daytona and Talladega, so as long as I keep to my strategy, basically, and maintain track position, and along with my teammates, I think we'll be able to prevail by the end of the day. And if I'm fortunate enough, I may be able to grab that checkered flag from the old starter.
Alrighty, sounds good. Good luck to you, Greg McClendon, and a big shout out there to Blaze Pizza.
Thanks, Scott, and I just want to give a shout out to the rest of my guys over here and Dark Horse Racing and all those affiliated with KMA guys. It's only going to get better. Stick around. It's going to get really good over the next little couple of years here, guys. Just hang in there. It's going to get really, really good here, and we're going to be top-notch drivers, and there's going to be a lot more people joining, and you guys are going to get a great show each and every time out.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Big shout out there to Blaze Pizza, Greg McClendon, qualifying up there in first place tonight. Hoping to see Greg McClendon in that winner's circle, along with a few other Dark Horse Racing drivers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are underneath a very early caution, unfortunately brought out by a little bit of computer and internet situation on the number 6 running out there tonight. We'll take a quick look at our running order. Not much has really changed up there since we started this race 5 laps ago. We've got Greg, Howard, and Mark, George, Tommy, Travis Browder has gained 1 position, Colin Bauer, Jeff Ryan, Gary Whitmer Jr. up 2 positions into position 8. Mitchell Reeves sitting back in position 10. Edward Bray has dropped a couple of spots down to position 11. Chris Hogan, position 14. Dave Casey, 17. Paul Pellizier. I want to give a big shout out there to Paul, Dave, Kevin, and Jason Russo, sub-team of KMA Racing, out here strutting their stuff. So, you know what's really cool? We got a lot of sub-teams out here tonight. Black Talon, Unacceptable Racing, Paul Pellizier and his group, Kicking Asphalt. I want to see if they can indeed kick some asphalt out here on this 2.5 mile track. Rough start out here though. It is lap 5. We are underneath our first caution. Get ready to go back to green flag racing. Give a big shout out there to the fans on the KMA TV chat. Big shout out there to Becky Whitmer. 88 Howard Bell laying back on the number 40. Mark Allen, Bud Light. I do expect Mark Allen, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan try to get something hooked up with Unacceptable Racing. At the same token, I expect Greg and Howard and George to be hooking up. Joel, Edward, Lee, possible combinations. Kevin, Dave, Jason, Paul, that'll be so possible. Be very interesting on the speedway, but you know what these drivers have got to remember? Pit. We're going to be pitting. You got to get 30 laps into pit. Now the drivers did not pit. It's caution. They saved a lot of fuel. So they made it to go to about 55. The way goes to number 40th. Mark Allen is a good run. Side by side. Looks like they're much better start there. 5 and number 38. George Stratton goes back all down the front up. Number 18, Butters going to fall down the front up. Number 24 going to make a left side contact with the number 18 of Travis Browder. Be careful, boys. We've got a big road code. We've got the Chevys. The road is going to be full this tonight. Most powerful vehicle always has to offer. We've got big boy toys. He's got no help. No help at all. That is a ton of vehicle out of his mind. Paul is going to be Hornets next. He's got to help up Dave Asia. The Irish National Guard hanging back and taking it easy. Side by side, Dave Asia. Joel Guy, Tuesday night's winner in City. Big shout out to Joel Guy. Columbia is not a survival out there Tuesday. A bit of a rough race. 125 to 14 hitting on. Here comes David Casey on the inside lane. 14 all over the rear end of Lee Ryerson Jr. in that one, 25. Very sharp out there to shout out to very written. Travis Browder having tonight the season sealed up. You feel like a very good finish on this race. But this point Travis has got it sealed up. We're going to take a look at those points. Travis Browder right now with 510 points. He's stable in second place with 435. So we're looking at a 70-point lead. So Travis Browder will definitely have the Friday Night Lights series wrapped up real competition between the East Stable and Gray. Edward with a 432, and the Stables with a 435. Ronald Stewart in fourth, not able to join us tonight. That is Ronald Klein in fifth with 416. Jason Russo in fifth with a sixth with a 399. Joel Guy in seventh with a 381. A very tight race between second, third, fourth, and fifth. Colin Bowers works his way up to 4th position from 9th. With the speeds of 200, 199 to 200. So he's laying her back a little bit. Plenty of time to get the job done out here. On lap 14 of 100 in the final race of the Friday Night Fight Series. Summer 2017. Beginning Monday, we are going to be picking right back up, going back to New Hampshire. Back to New Hampshire next week. We keep following the NASCAR chase schedule. Greg McClendon leading 15 laps. Mark Allen very content to ride around as he does make where he wants to be with Tommy Ryan in number 7. Howard Bell in 4th place, still on that outside lane, working along with number 24 of George Stratton. Now, what we're not seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of passing on that outside lane. Passing here on a speedway in the Cup cars, very, very difficult to do. One of the reasons that I really do like running the Gen 6s out here, puts more of a strategy in the pit row situation. Very hard to pass out here, so you pretty much got to be content with just riding around. Don't mess with Texas, the number 24 of Dark Horse Racing, George Stratton. Coming around at 199, 200 miles per hour. Southeast Motorsports being represented by Mitchell Reeves. A lot of throttle control being shown out here tonight. We've only had one caution. 83 laps to go. Estimated first round of pit stops looking at about another 17 laps. Drivers falling into that groove, being very content at where they are at the moment. Gary Whitmer on the rear end of Travis Browder on that inside lane in position 7. Take a look up there. Take a look at that yellow line up there. Drivers need to stay off that yellow line. If you're down there on top of that yellow line and you tap it there in the corner, it's going to be a guaranteed way to cause a wreck. Travis Browder and the number 18 demonstrating pretty good technique. Guarding his space, clear as day. Colin Bauer doing a great job keeping his tires down, but not too far down. Greg McClendon up to 19 laps as Jason Russo doing a great job, but he is back in the center of the pack, almost near the rear end of the pack. Looking at 23 drivers out here tonight. Not seeing a lot of traffic out there on that outer lane though. Again, very hard to pass in these Gen 6s. Number 72 opting to stay up there on that outside lane. 72 belonging to Matthew Davis. No need to worry yet about being possibly trapped down into that inner lane. Still looking at about 15 laps of fuel in these Gen 6s. Edward Bray already prepared down on that inside lane. Pits will separate the men from the boys, folks, if you will. You know, anybody can sit down and drive in a circle all night long. And with these Gen 6s, it is really a straight line formation race, putting a lot of pressure on pit road. Gary Whitmer up one spot from his position of 11th starting out to position 10. Lee Staples holding solid in his 13th position. Keeping a nice gap off of the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Some drivers opting to go in a little early on. Paul Pellizier in the number 31 being very, very careful. Huge gap between him and the number 72 of Matthew Davis. The number 14 of Jason Russo, Kevin Scott Nelson. Huge gap there with the 224. The number 20, number 91 of Joel Guy Ben Gear. Freeman Kelly hanging out in the rear of that pack. Mark Allen all over the rear end of the number 40 of Greg McClendon, our race leader. Number 7, Tommy Ryan doing a great job. Colin Bauer still on that inside lane. Howard Bell and George Stratton still holding strong on that outer lane. Not losing any positions, holding their own very easily, in fact. Possibly needing to be considering getting down onto that inside lane very soon. Colin Bauer shifting up position, allowing Travis Browder a big run off of the number 7. Interesting move there by Colin Bauer. Travis Browder with a big run on the number 7. That will move Travis Browder up there to position 4. You know, so I'm thinking that Colin Bauer, thinking that maybe 3 can get the job done. Speaking of 3, we are going to be 3 wide with Lee Ryerson in 125 lap traffic. Lap traffic staying high. Lee Ryerson 3 laps down early on. Travis Browder appearing to go into pit row. Travis Browder possibly having some kind of a malfunction. Odd time to be going into pit row for Travis Browder. Not sure what the situation is with the number 18. We'll put Travis Browder 1 lap down, back up to our race leader, Greg McClendon, leading 26 laps. Top 5 making a breakaway. That'll be Greg McClendon, Mark Allen, Tommy Ryan, Howard Bell, and Colin Bauer. 27 laps in. One caution totaling 4 laps in the final race of our Friday Night Flight Series. Proudly brought to you by Blaze Pizza, Greg McClendon. And what a job Greg McClendon is doing out here tonight, leading 27 of 100. Mark Allen, Tommy Ryan, running for Unacceptable Racing, doing a great job just staying in line. Had a 5-car breakaway, but that did not last very long at all. Looking at a 7-car breakaway, but not sure that's going to happen either. Edward Bray bringing up that second freight train formation, that straight line formation, if you will. Edward Bray, Gary Whitmer, Ronald Klein sitting in 10th place position. Gary Whitmer doing his best to get up to the rear end of the number 66 of Edward Bray. You don't want to let that front engine, if you will, break away too far. Edward Bray easily catching the draft of Jeff Ryan. Edward Bray possibly even working on a little bit of fuel strategy. He's got that draft. He's well within the draft of the number 8. Now if the race does go caution free, it could easily be decided by a fuel strategy. Greg McClendon out there in the front line using the most fuel. Mark Allen and Jeff Ryan. Will be using quite a bit of fuel too. Green flag pit stops beginning to happen. Tough break there for the number 64. 64 surely will receive a penalty for that. Came in very hot into pit road. Number 19, Mark Allen. Number 7 of Tommy Ryan. Number 40, Greg McClendon. Drivers into pit row. Jeff Ryan in and out. Number 40, Greg McClendon in and out. Mark Allen in and out. Matthew Davis in the Ford Fusion, number 72. Currently is in first place, taking that lead away from Greg McClendon due to a green flag pit stop. Gotta love the green flag pit stops out here at Daytona. They are sometimes hard to come by, but they're making them happen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Quick, Paul Pellizer, Jason Russo should be the next drivers to pit. Positions 1, 2, and 3, Kevin Scott Nelson with 224, sitting back in 4th position. Dave Casey at Ben Gear, Freeman Kelly. Lee Ryerson up there in the 125, 3 laps down. Not seeing a lot of pushing out here tonight. Big shout out to Chris Hogue on the KMA TV chat box. Chris Hogue having some difficulties out here tonight at Daytona on this very difficult, high-speed, high-anxiety track. We're 72 into pit row. Number 4, Ben Gear in the bush. Chevy SS into pit row. Taking left sides, and Ben Gear out of pit row along with the number 72. Side-by-side race off of pit row. Both drivers following procedures, staying below that yellow line. Paul Pellizier, our race leader, and Jason Russo making their way into pit row, along with Dave Acacia. Teammates at work. Number 31, Paul Pellizier taking rights, Jason Russo taking lefts. Paul Pellizier on his way out of pit row. We are on lap 35 of 100. 65 to go. I'll put Edward Bray and Colin Bauer in positions 1 and 2. Do not believe the number 66 of Edward Bray has yet to pit. Now, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, early on, pit stops will separate the men from the boys here at Daytona. Edward Bray coming up on lap traffic. Lap traffic of Paul Pellizier, putting Paul Pellizier 1 lap down. Five-car breakaway being led by Edward Bray. Colin Bauer, Mitchell Reeves, Greg McClendon, Howard Bell still in that top 5. A big shout out there to Greg McClendon putting on the show tonight here in the final showdown at Daytona. Greg McClendon in 4th place position. Good job out there too, Greg. And the boys from Dark Horse, as Howard Bell is running in 5th. Chris Hogue letting me know on that KMA TV chat, having what we're going to refer to as mechanical difficulties. It happens. Chris Hogue making the right decision to pull her over and park, and we appreciate that, Chris. Edward Bray, Colin Bauer, Mitchell Reeves, Greg McClendon, Howard Bell, positions 1 through 5. Paul Pellizier, Matthew Davis, Ben Gear, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Big action back here for position 9 through 16. David Casey is side by side with Gary Whitmer. Lee Ryerson in the number 125 to 224. Kevin Scott Nelson Number 14 of Jason Russo. Number 19 of Mark Allen. And the number 24 of George Stratton. Been talking a lot about George Stratton out here tonight. Gonna put you in-car camera with Tommy Ryan for a lap or two. Gonna ride around shotgun with Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan, the older brother of Jeff Ryan. Tommy Ryan pushing on Jeff Ryan. Pushing on Mark Allen. Getting a little sketchy. Hang on to your hats, boys. No need to fret, Chet. Plenty of time to get her done. Not even at the halfway point. Lap 41 of 159 to go. 4 lead changes, 1 caution, totaling out 4 laps. Straight line formation for Edward, Colin, Mitchell, Greg. Howard Bell hanging on for 5th place, but he is hanging on for dear life. Teammate of the number 40 of Greg McClendon, but I'm not so sure Greg McClendon wants to wait up at this point. You know, we're almost at that halfway point. Do or die, but I do believe the number 88 has caught the draft of the number 40. Well, good job to the number 88. Paul Pellizier, Matthew Davis, 1.1 seconds back. Possibly not enough traffic there to get them all the way up there. Ben Gear by himself. Now that's not going to be a real good thing for Ben Gear here momentarily. Ben Gear rolling around here at about 200 miles an hour, but he is going to get freight trained. He's going to get streamlined. He's just about ready to get run over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a rule here about slower traffic heading upstairs. Ben Gear slowing down that inside lane dramatically, allowing the number 5 of Gary Whitmer and the number 125 of Lee Ryerson to get run on that outside lane. Lee Ryerson not quite clear. Gary Whitmer down to the inside lane. Gary Whitmer taking advantage of that situation, being 1 lap down. Easily can get that back with the use of a good pit stop. Gary Whitmer looking very sharp out here tonight. A little bit of a right side scrape up there for Gary Whitmer. Caution will fly, I do believe. Trouble in the rear view mirror of Gary Whitmer. Caution is not flying. We are green flag racing. Looks like a couple of brothers taking themselves out. Going to back it up, look at it. Looking like the number 8. The number 8 of Jeff Ryan getting loose down into 224. Brother and brother. Well, oh brother. 2 brothers down. Jeff Ryan, Tommy Ryan. What a heartbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. Getting back up with our race leader, lap 46 of 100. Edward Bray leading 11 laps. Looks like the pack has caught up, and we are back to a huge pack, ladies and gentlemen, here in the final race of the Friday Night Flight Series. Proudly brought to you by Greg McClendon and Blaze Pizza. Great racing out here tonight, lap 47 of 100. We've only had one caution. Edward Bray leading 12 laps, Colin Bauer leading 1, Greg McClendon leading 29. Greg McClendon right now currently is in 4th place. Howard Bell still in 5th, doing a great job. Paul Pellizier, Matthew Davis. Matthew Davis in position 7 now. Mark Allen, a little bit further back on that distance. We're looking at about 8.6 seconds back. But he's got help. He's got help from Ben Gear, Lee Ryerson, Gary Whitmer Jr. in the number 24 of George Stratton. George Stratton sitting at 9 seconds back off of our race leader. Next round of green flag pit stops should be starting up at about lap 60. How about it, Travis Browder? Have you got a copy?
Hey Scott, how are you? I blew my motor accidentally because I had my tape up too much, so I can join you in the booth if that's okay.
Hey, Travis Browder, would you like to join me in the booth?
Absolutely, Scott. Come have some fun.
All righty. All right. Well, first off, Travis, I got to give you congratulations there for your season win on Tuesday night in the Tuesday Night Truck Series. What a job.
Thank you, Scott. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And big shout out to Jason Russo for the sponsor for that series.
Now, I also got to give you a secondary pat on the back. I only got 2 hands, Travis. Good thing you didn't take Monday. But either way it goes, you've got Friday Night Flights wrapped up.
Absolutely, Scott. I came in 75 points in tonight, so there's no need to worry about anything tonight for sure. Been a lot of fun this season.
So you obviously know what you're doing, so let's kill off a few laps and, talk to me about your Tuesday night and your Friday night wins. You've taken home the season fairly easily, so you obviously know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. It's all about strategy and running very, very consistently on each lap, staying out of trouble, and, try to keep your car in one piece and racing clean, and pretty much worked out all season.
Now, was there a difference with the Monday series? We were running the Xfinity class on Monday. Why didn't you get a 3-fer?
Well, we've been running near the front, because Ryan Kuhn was so tough to beat all season long. But I'm happy for Ryan Kuhn, and congrats to him for winning the championship for the Monday Night Series. He's been so dominant in these Xfinity cars. It's just I just got to give it to him. It's been fun still.
All right. Well, it looks like the number 13 right now has got a blown engine as well. Number 13, Colin Bauer, is smoking. So, enlighten us here. How did you blow your engine out there?
My temps were too high. It was like at 290, around that range. I wasn't paying attention to my temps because I was like, I was trying to get behind the other driver, try to get some air as possible. But it's tough with these cars because they get so close to you, and then the other driver wants the air, and the other one tries their best to try to stay out of it or whatever. So it is what it is. Sometimes it happens.
So you reckon that's what probably just happened there with Colin Bauer?
I believe so, Scott. I believe his temps were a bit too high. The same thing with mine.
All right, now we are back on cameras with Greg McClendon and Howard Bell. And you know what? I am pretty impressed with Greg McClendon. And if Greg McClendon can win tonight, he has led 31 laps. He set us off tonight on the pole position. He has not dropped lower than 5th position. We're over the halfway point, and Howard Bell, his buddy there with Dark Horse. You think Greg McClendon can bring her home tonight?
I sure hope so, and he's the sponsor for tonight's series too, and the season. And by the way, congratulations to McClendon for bringing the pole here this evening, and pretty happy for him. And Howard Bell, the last week's winner at Chicagoland. It's pretty cool to see him win. It's pretty cool. Everybody's just in single file at this point. You know, we still got a long way to go, and I believe we're going to have to make at least, maybe 2 more or 1 more pit stop. At least.
Well, I'm figuring these guys are going to start pitting in about lap 60.
That'll be interesting because they'll be 10 laps short to the finish if they pit around the lap 60.
Now that brings up an interesting position because
yep.
They can go in and grab 10, come back for full fuel. They can go in and grab a full fuel load, come back in, with 15 to go. When you're working with a 2-pit strategy where they're not, you actually need a pit and a half is what you need. What do you think at this point in time? Let's say you're Mitchell Reeves. Let's just say you're Mitchell Reeves is in 4th place, lap 55. Probably got to go in by 65. What's a boy to do?
It's going to come down to the pit stops, because whoever has the fastest pit stop, the best pit stop, will have a shot to get up front and probably have a shot to win the race. It's going to be all about lap 100, who's got what there at the end.
Well, I was talking to our fans about how pit stops will separate the men from the boys.
That'll be interesting.
Got to get into pit row without a penalty. Got to get out of pit row without a penalty. And you also have to do your math. And you got to decide whether or not to take 2 tires, 4 tires. Now, 2 tires, you pretty much get those 2 for free on a full load. Are the extra tires worth the extra 3 seconds in pit row?
Tires makes a difference on pit stops. Like if you take 4 tires, you may lose a little track position. It just depends on who takes 2 tires, maybe no tires, maybe. But
they're not as important here as they are at Chicagoland.
Oh, it's 4 tires all the way at Chicagoland. So it's Daytona, It's just track position is so important here, but especially in these cars.
Greg McClendon up to 35 laps led. Taking a look at our running order, we've got Greg, Howard, Edward, Mitchell, Paul. So at this point in time, Travis, seriously, who do you think is going to win tonight's race?
Well, I hope it'll be Greg McClendon because he's the sponsor for this series, and it'd be pretty cool if I do a burnout with him on my championship burnout. If I can hopefully get back out there and do my burnout while I'm doing my interview.
Alrighty, copy that. Another strong driver out here tonight has been Paul Pellizier, the number 31. Paul Pellizier with the boys from Kickin' Asphalt with Jason Russo, David Casia, and Kevin Scott Nelson. Jason and Kevin 14 back, but Paul Pellizier, he's right here on that lead pack. Again, straight line formation. Talk to us about why these guys are floating around here in a straight line formation. If we were in the trucks, we'd be passing.
Oh yeah, these Gen 6 cars, because it's the same thing, kind of like Talladega with the Gen 6 cars, because you go single file. It's pretty much follow the leader. But if we get to the late stages of the race, who's going to go with who? The more cars you have, the faster you're going to go, and you may pass them on the outside if you get plenty of help behind you with more than one car.
So the outside lane is just kind of worthless?
The outside lane, if you get more cars on the outside, who goes with who, the faster you're going to go. But the inside lane is the preferred lane in the single file formation. But it just depends on who goes with you and who's got the car. Green flag pit stops.
Green flag pit stops. We got those cameras on. Greg McClendon and Howard Bell, the boys from Dark Horse. Ooh, Howard Bell. I don't know. Did he come in a little hot?
The pit speed is 60 miles an hour. I believe he came in. Pretty close to the limit. Let's see if he has a penalty. We'll see.
Well, we got the cameras locked on too. Greg McClendon and Howard Bell. Greg taking those left side tires. Howard Bell taking those left side tires. Greg is out. Howard is out. Ding, ding, ding. Green flag.
Green flag pit stop, Scott. It's going to be interesting. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's get it up there with Edward Bray. I think Edward Bray, Mitchell Reeves into pit row.
And Lee Staples comes in with them, by the way, from Black Talon as Edward Bray's teammate.
Now, we do know that we're going to see these two drivers hook up. So let's see what Edward and Lee do in pit row on lap 61.
Ooh, Edward overdrove his pit just a little bit
Just
going in, but he
a
got
little.
it back in. Just a hair. Right sides.
Lee out a little bit faster. Edward out. All right, they are out. Green, clean, and mean, if you know what I've been seeing. All right, Edward Bray out there on that track. That'll put Paul Pellizier up there on that front line, riding around with the number 72 of Matthew Davis.
Paul Pellizier just staying out, just staying out of trouble because, because you just never know what's going to happen when you get into the pits because you may get into a collision because it has happened here before. So he's just trying to play it safe to just try to do a safe strategy on pit road so you can keep that car in one piece.
Alrighty, Travis, I tell you what, we're going to take about a 45-second breather right here. And we're going to run a commercial for Blaze Pizza and Pad, and we'll be right back with you.
Sounds good, Scott.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out there to Greg McClendon and Blaze Pizza. Also a big shout out there to Pad. Now, Travis, I know that Pad means a whole lot to you, means a lot to me. I'm going to get a plug in for Pad anytime I can. People against distracted driving. Now, you are about 20 years, without giving away my own age, because I'm a bit of an older guy. But what is the general atmosphere as we watch Paul Pellizier going into pit row? What is the general atmosphere with your generation about the cell phones, the distracted driving? What is the age 20-ish? How do they deal with this?
Well, PADD is people against distracted driving, of course. It's as I've seen a lot of people on the roads texting and driving a lot, while I'm out there on the roads, just trying to focus on the road, what's in front of me. And, it's very, very dangerous, It's just like, it doesn't matter what you do on the road. It's just, you're in danger, risking a life away and, to take somebody else's life. And it's bad out there. It's just the best way is just be on the road very, very safely, 100% on the road. You just got to stay focused.
Copy that.
On your surroundings.
Now, I'm going to back this up a little bit because we did have a little bit of contact there between the number 14 and the number 224 and the number 5. No caution come out, but there was a little bit of contact here. So we're going to watch this in replay mode. Jason Russo, the 224 of Kevin Scott Nelson, Gary Whitmer, very, very slight. Nobody wrecked. Nobody died. Nobody cried. But I tell you what, these Gen 6s, they can take a licking and keep right on ticking. Right there is the number 14, got into the 20, crosses the track up. 5 backing off, 14 rolling on. So it looks like the number 20 got the roughest end of that mark.
Yeah, I guess he didn't go high for the leaders. Well, actually, he's on the lead lap. Actually, they had a huge run on him.
A little bit of miscommunication right there, and lordy, I tell you what, I'll give you one guess who was up there on that front line. Can you tell me, Travis?
Well, looks like David Casey came in front of Jason Russo. We'll see what happens with iRacing. The update on the next lap.
But right now, look at our race leader.
Greg McClendon gets the lead. Just updated.
Greg McClendon. All right, just updated. We're on lap 67. He has led 38 laps, and he's got his teammate Howard Bell right there with him, along with Mitchell Reeves, Edward Bray, and is that Lee Staples with his nose peeking up there?
Yep, I do see Lee Staples. He's running 13th, and he is in the lucky dog position. So if we get a caution, he may get the free pass if he stays free.
Now I tell you what, before tonight's race started, I had a little talk with the drivers. You were there, and I told these drivers, you know what? The last 20 or so laps, I would hate nothing more than for a lap down driver to take out a race leader. But if you're already up there, you're up to speed. So right now, Lee Staples, I got no problem with Lee Staples being up there, racing his arse off at the point in time.
Oh yeah, all he needs is hoping for a caution, and he may get the free pass. So that's all he's hoping for is a yellow.
Well, and if that doesn't come out, I tell you something else he's hoping for. Well, he's got his sub-team teammate of KMA Racing, Black Talent. He's got Edward Bray back there. So Edward Bray is looking for a little bit of help there. Mitchell Reeves up there, the lone duck out there by himself. So we could have a Greg McClendon Howard Bell against Edward Bray with the help of the lap traffic of his teammate Lee Staples, and Mitchell Reeves could, in theory, get hung out to dry.
Yeah, because I do see Edward Bray. He's the 5th car in line in this lead group right here. It's pretty interesting to see Lee Staples up here with these drivers, and I do see Mitchell Reeves is up there, and then if Lee pulls out, maybe Edward will go with him, and maybe Lee can help Edward get to the front and help him push to a win if this goes green to the end on strategy.
But we can't forget about that next pit stop. Now, right now, if these drivers go into pit row, they're good to go.
Yep, we're on that fuel window now, so we should be able to see. Maybe we'll see some drivers short pit. So whoever short pits will be the strategy. And hopefully we'll go green all the way for sure. All
right, well, I tell you what we're going to do right now, Travis. We're going to start up here in the number 1 spot, and we're going to take a look at each and every driver. So we've got Greg McClendon, Howard Bell, Edward Bray, Mitchell Reeves, and Lee Staples up here making our top 5. Just a hair's click behind, we've got Paul Palazier. Paul Palazier sitting back in 5th position, being pushed on by Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein 1 lap down. George Stratton sitting back in 15th, 1 lap down. Matthew Davis running in the number 72. Ooh, he's running solo. That's not good.
Yeah, it looked like he lost his drafting partner, Paul Pelagier, because he was working with him earlier, not too long ago. But he's got other 3 cars coming: McCollum Bauer, Lee Ryerson Jr., and Freeman Kelly. So he may get some help when they get to him if they work together.
But he's doing 188. Colin Bauer and Lee Ryerson and the number 21, they're doing 198 to 201. Well, let's see if they give him any love right now. Can I get a heck yeah, I'll give you some love? And Colin Bauer says, no, I'm a man on a mission.
And that is for a position, too, because Colin Bauer just passed Matthew Davis for the 6th position. So put Colin Bauer in 6th place at the moment.
No love for the number 72. Checking in on Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer in a ton of traffic. Gary Whitmer 2 laps down, getting onto the rear end of the number 4.
3 wide.
3 wide. Mitchell Reeves, the monkey in the middle. Here goes Mitchell Reeves. We are 3 wide with Mitchell, Ben, and the number 7 of Tommy Ryan, Edward Bray, pushing Mitchell right through. Ben Gear and Gary Whitmer staying high to the wall. Thank you, drivers. And the number 19 of Mark Allen trying desperately to get onto the rear end of the number 5 of Gary Whitmer Jr.
Gary Whitmer Jr. is running in 21st position, 3 laps down. I was working with him earlier in the race before my engine blew, and I was working with Ronald Klein as well and Chris Hogue, just try to help him with strategies tonight. But been a lot of fun communicating with him for sure while it lasted. Still single file formation.
Very impressed with the number 7 of Tommy Ryan tonight, doing a great job. Jeff Ryan still in it back there in 17th position. Jeff is in 18th. Tommy is in 17th. Still doing a great job. But again, the man I'm impressed with. Got to go check out the pizza guy. You know why.
Greg McClendon.
45 laps led, and again, working with the number 88. Now, all right, now what's going on here? We saw the number 88, he's peeking. He's peeking. Is he going to pass? Is he peeking? What's the number 88 doing?
He's pushing his teammate Greg McClendon. He's trying to get some air in his car to keep his temps cool, to keep the momentum as he can. Because he's got 2 lap cars behind him with Lee Staples and Tommy Ryan, because they're both lap cars. So this is very interesting here, and especially the other lead lap cars were behind two lead lap cars with Mitchell Reeves and Edward Bray. Then you got 2 other lap cars of Gary Whitmer and Ben Gear. So this is very interesting as Joel Guide stays high for the leaders to go by. So that's a good safe move. So we'll see what happens here. We got 24 laps remaining here at Daytona for the season finale for the Friday Night Flight Series.
I know that Greg McClendon would be absolutely thrilled to win tonight's race. Now, peeking over the top of his hood, though, he's got a little bit of front end damage. Let me see if we can get our cameras up there on the front end. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of separation on the left front of that hood of that Chevy SS, but it really doesn't seem to be affecting the movement of the number 40 Blaze Pizza.
It should not affect him that bad. Damage is not that bad at all, so he should be all right. He's got his teammate right behind him, just trying to take care of it.
Do have one driver heading down into pit row, and that would
I believe it's Tommy Ryan.
Jeff Ryan and Tommy Ryan both going down into pit row. Tommy looking very sharp in the Northern Tool and Equipment. Mark Allen in pit row. All right, the Unacceptable Racing guys all working as a team. Mark Allen, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan, Mountain Dew, Bud Light, and Northern Tools. Well, what more could a man... Well, I don't know about the hammer and the Bud Light, but
Yeah, it's a pretty cool paint schemes I see out here from Unacceptable Racing. It's been pretty cool racing with them for years in this league, and good drivers to hang around with.
Good drivers. Mark Allen is a hoot. I remember back in the early days of KMA Racing, long before you, Travis, we would get ready to do our little pit party in practice, and Mark Allen would always play the theme song to the Benny Hill Show. I'm not sure if you know who Benny Hill is, but I know this.
No, I never heard of him.
He was a British comedian that always did a bunch of mayhem, and he'd fall down and he'd trip and he'd fall over. So Mark would do this little theme song when we do our pit parties, because you know how the pit parties go.
Oh yeah, pit parties are fun to do, because pit parties are, how to help drivers practice how the draft is, how the handling of the car
I
is.
think they're to teach the drivers how to wreck.
I know, right?
They get kind of scary sometimes. All right, we are
Hell
on lap
yeah.
79. 79 of 100. 21 to go in the final race of the Friday Night Flight Series. We've got Travis Browder, our TNT Tuesday Night Truck Series champion, and he is officially our Friday Night Flights Series champion. So big shout out there to Travis Browder. Greg McClendon leading 50
Green flag
laps.
pit stops. Here comes Greg and
Howard Bell.
Howard Bell. Coming into the pits. Let's see what they do here.
Got the cameras on. Greg, I want to see if Greg gets that hood fixed.
Let's see what he does here.
With 20 to go, he has not yet used a reset. He's got one more haul, one more car. Let's see if he drags that car out the hauler.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Howard Bell's out of the pits. He took no tires. Greg's coming out now. He took 2 tires.
A little bit of a lack of communication right there between Greg and Howard. Now, with taking of the new car, Greg didn't need to take those tires.
Yeah, I guess it might have been a miscommunication with his crew chief or maybe one of
Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves, Edward Bray into pit row.
Let's see what they do here. We got a big pack of cars coming in. A couple guys. Gary Whitmer Jr. is on pit road also.
All right.
Let's see what they do.
We got Mitchell Reeves, Gary Whitmer, the LA Sim Sport of Edward Bray.
Mitchell Reeves takes left sides. They all take left sides and they're rolling. Mitchell Reeves leaves them out of pit road in the group.
Rolling. All righty. I tell you, what a great race tonight. Just amazing race. If you'd have told me Daytona, well, it ain't over yet. We still got some fat lady out there wanting to sing a song. But I tell you what, here at Daytona, getting away with anything less than 4 cautions, it's almost a miracle. But these drivers doing a great job tonight, Travis.
Excellent job by all these drivers. Absolutely, Scott. And, all these drivers are being so patient out here, thinking strategy-wise and all this stuff. It keeps all these drivers very happy about the night to kick off the weekend for sure.
Now, do you think that has anything to do with the fixed setup or the open setup? Because tonight, the boys are allowed to play with their tire pressure. Tell us some of the things that we can play with out here on Friday.
Open setups are very interesting, like who's got the car or whatever. It's this track position, there's everything here. I felt like the cars looked the same to me with the setups tonight. Because it's like it makes a difference with all the cars who goes with who. Because if you run a fixed setup, it's pretty much single file, pretty much. Because I've done the fixed setups here before. It's just so hard to pass and all about them restarts and pit stops and who's got what and who's got the momentum. So, and Howard Bell did pass Mitchell Reeves after that pit stop.
Nice. We are looking at Paul Pellizer out there in the Ford Fusion, loving the skull and the wings on that Ford Fusion. But I tell you what I'm not liking about Paul, he has not got a lot of traffic around him.
I tell you what, I don't know if he didn't pit yet or not, but it's very interesting. So we'll see what happens here. He's got a lot of cars around him right now.
Well, he has floated up. He was solo. He is moving through that field pretty well, and he is caught up there too. I do believe he's got a couple of teammates working with him.
David Casey, I believe, from Kicking Asphalt.
Paul Pellizer, Kevin Scott Nelson, Jason Russo. David Casey with Kicking Asphalt out here tonight representing Mark Allen and help me out, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan representing
Yes.
Unacceptable Racing. We've
Yes.
got Ronald Klein representing RTK along with Gary Whitmer and Chris Hogue, and we've got Lee Staples and Edward Bray representing Black Talon. What do you think about that?
A lot of great teamwork, a lot of great teams to be around, and very interesting drivers to be around, and it's a lot of fun to be racing with these drivers in this league.
But something I'm not seeing, and I'm thinking there's got to be a little bit of confusion out here. Now, KMA Racing has a few rules. Now, one of those rules is slower traffic, stay high. That's standard, Travis.
Yes.
Now, what we just did see, we saw Greg McClendon out there in front by himself. He had a pack running on him, but he did not go high. But he was the leader, but he had a pack running down on him. A little bit of a confusion right there, because I don't know, if I'm down on that inside lane, I'm the leader. You know, my attitude is well, why do I got to go high? But the guys that are coming up on you, 10 to 15 miles faster are like, get out of my way, get out of my way. What are your thoughts on that confusing situation?
Well, if you're the car by yourself, it is safety for this. A lot of drivers got to go high because a lot of drivers got a huge run on you, because it can cause a chain reaction. A lot of drivers will check up and it could cause a wreck too, because it can happen sometimes.
Paul Pellizier in a very good spot. Let's look at some of our comparison times. Now, Paul Pellizier has got a 35-second lead on second place and third place and fourth place. And he has got teammates of Kevin Scott Nelson and Jason Russo, but a 35-second lead. I don't know if Paul has pitted yet or not.
I don't know if he pitted yet either. So
if he has pitted, he's got this stuff wrapped up.
Yeah, we only got 12 laps or 11, 13 laps to go.
I don't think he's pitted.
I don't think so either.
Now, Paul has won on a super speedway, and he has got teammates. I don't know, Travis. I don't think he's pitted.
Nope. So the battle for the win, it could be possibly will be Mitchell Reeves and Edward Bray, because they're side by side for second place. I'm watching this battle right here, and Gary Whitmer helping Edward Bray on the outside.
Well, I'm still watching Paul, and they have caught up to David Casia, the fourth member. Now let's think here. If Paul hasn't pitted, he needs to figure out how short of fuel he is, because Dave, Jason, and Kevin are all laps down. Paul's the leader. Shouldn't they be sticking Paul in the middle?
Yeah, it's tough on him now because he's the last car in that group because he's burning all that fuel.
They need to get his ass in the middle.
Oh yeah, they probably need to, so he could save all that fuel as possible at this point. Will be 10 laps to go this time by.
Edward Bray, Howard Bell, Mitchell Reeves, position 2, 3, and 4. And they are 35 seconds back. Greg McClendon sitting at 42 seconds back off of Paul.
Yeah, that's about, 8 seconds to go a lap down, I believe, because I believe you can go 45, 44 seconds around this track.
I'm telling you, I do not think Paul Pellizier has gone into pit row yet.
I don't know if he's saving as much as he can, or unless he's hoping for a caution, probably.
By my guesstimations, Travis, he's going to have to save at least 6 laps. And you got to have a pusher. You got to have a pusher.
Yeah, he's got to get some help right behind him too. It's tough on him because he doesn't have anybody else behind him.
All right, Travis. Now that I got you up in the booth with me, anybody that you would like to give a big shout out for, I'm going to give you the microphone completely for 60 seconds. I know you've got a lot of great accomplishments for the year of 2017, getting a job, getting your own house. Tell us all about what Travis has been up to this summer and who you'd like to give a shout out to.
It's been an amazing summer, and it's really been a pleasure running with you and all these drivers this season, Scott. It really means a lot to me. Things have gotten better lately for me. Everything's been going good for me. And I want to give a big shout out to John Hendrick over the Top Paints and Designs, Mike Kalini for Pad, and you, Scott, for the league and the TV, for the broadcast, KMA TV broadcast. I want to give a big shout out to Becky Whitmer, one of my favorite fans out there to watch. And a big shout out to all the drivers that they're here tonight. And also Ted for Gearhead Paint Shop and all the sponsors you put this on, Scott.
I tell you what, brother, I think you got that scripted.
Thanks, Scott.
You always do a great job, and you are probably one of my most favorite co-announcers. Looking at the rear end of Howard Bell as they do come around the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Straight line formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming around. Ben Gear. They have cut that lead down to 33.9. Well, talk to me about the numbers, because obviously second, third, fourth, fifth, they're gaining on Paul.
Yeah, they're gaining on him just a little bit. They're catching him pretty slowly each lap, but, you know, because Gary Whitmer, he's a couple laps down. He's leading the group, but Edward Bray, if Paul pits, if he doesn't have enough fuel to make it to the end, Edward Bray can win this race, because if Mitchell Reeves goes by himself, I think Lee Staples is going to push Edward Bray to the win if it goes green.
Well, I would agree with you there on Lee Staples. Now, that'll leave Mitchell Reeves out there by himself. Howard Bell will definitely grab onto the front end of Greg McClendon. But, you know, the big question right now, Paul, have you pitted? Well, I'm not going to bug him in race, but that is the question of the night. Has Paul Pellizier brought that KMA Racing, Kicking Asphalt, Ford Fusion number 31 into pit row? We're at 6 to go. You know he's got to be lifting that throttle a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's playing that fuel, trying to be everything the best he can right now for the last 6 laps.
Now, beginning on Monday, Travis, we are going to start following the NASCAR chase schedule.
Awesome.
So we're going to be opening up next Monday. You know, oh, there goes the 224. There goes the number 31.
Paul's pitting also.
Ooh, heartbreaker for Paul Pellizier. He's not going to win tonight's race.
I'm sure he's probably going to take no tires at least. So this is going to help Edward Bray and on all these drivers for the win. So it's probably going to be Edward Bray, Mitchell Reeves, or Howard Bell, because they are so close to each other, 31 seconds. So they're really close to each other.
All right, we are looking at a straight line formation.
Paul comes out of pit road.
Well, and Edward Bray's got help in front. He's got Gary Whitmer Jr. Now, Gary Whitmer Jr. has already got his race in for the week. I do believe he won Monday. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
So, Gary Whitmer right now has fallen to 3 laps down. Gary Whitmer's not going to have any problem pulling the number 66. Now, that again is where we talked about earlier about, are you helping or are you hindering? So right now, Gary's not racing against Edward. He's racing with him. And that's what I tell these drivers. When I met you, Travis, I got a little upset with you one night, and I said, hey, are you racing with me? Or are you racing against me? Because we ain't going nowhere if you're racing against me. Get on my ass, push me, show me some love. Yep. Do you remember that day?
Oh, absolutely, Scott. I believe it was the first day I joined.
It might have been.
Day, yeah.
So right now what we've got is we have got Edward Bray working with Gary Whitmer, but Mitchell Reeves in second place. Who do you love? As the doors spoke it. Who do you love? And Mitchell Reeves, I don't think Mitchell Reeves has got any love out here tonight.
Yeah, I don't see any Southeast Motorsports out here besides Mitchell Reeves, because he's the only driver out there. So it's
because if that number 64 gets up there, well, Lee Ryerson is KMA Racing, Lee Staples is KMA Racing, sub-team Black Talon. What I predict is Lee Ryerson is going to try to push Lee Staples around the green machine of Mitchell Reeves. But again, these are the Cup cars, and outside lane pushing, I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting to see what Mitchell Reeves does here. I think Edward Bray is in the catbird seat right now to win this race with Lee Staples right there in the picture.
All right, the catbird state. All right. So it could very well be, but Edward Bray, Man, he's got to be smooth.
Yep.
And he's very dependent upon Gary Whitmer right now. So his future, Edward Bray's future, is in the hands of Gary Whitmer Jr.
Yep, and we're about to go to the white flag next time by. So let's see what happens here. We'll see what Mitchell Reeves. See if he gets a run on him. We'll see what happens here.
Well, right now we are looking at Edward Bray, Mitchell Reeves, Howard Bell in positions 1, 2, 3, and we can't count out Howard Bell. Greg McClendon, 0.4 back. But I tell you what a run out here by Howard and Greg tonight.
Been a great race. Great season, and I can't wait to do this again soon.
Well, we're going to be starting it up in New Hampshire on Monday. Now it's going to be a non-points race. We're going to go 10 weeks. We're going to take a break from the points. But we're still going to be following that chase schedule. And Monday, we're going to open it up. We're going to be running New Hampshire next week. How about that?
That'll be very fun, Scott. A lot of fun races to come around. As Edward Bray comes out of turn 4, looks like he's going to win. Oh, Mitchell Reeves is going to the outside. He's looking low. He's looking high.
He's got nobody, though. He's got nobody.
Edward Bray wins at Daytona.
Edward Bray, Mitchell Reeves, and that'll be Howard Bell.
That's your top 3 podium, Scott.
All right, let's get these drivers down here. I'm going to let you take on Howard Bell, Travis.
Howard Bell, this is Travis Prouder in the KMA TV booth. You with us? Howard Bell.
How about?
Go ahead.
Hey, good job on 3rd place tonight. You were up there at the front all night long. Tell us about your race.
Well, we were doing good there until I lost my drafting partner, old Greg McClinton, better known as Jackal. When I lost him, I lost the race there.
Oh man, yeah, I saw that earlier because Greg McClendon had a little issue on pit road there for a minute. But great job for 3rd place there. It was still a good run for you though for a podium.
Well, thank you.
Alrighty.
How about Mitchell Reeves?
Good, Scott.
Well, goodness lordy. Tell me about your race tonight.
It was very strategic. It was like the longest 100 lap of chess I've ever played in my life. We didn't have any teammates tonight from Southeast, so me and Edward kind of started working together there, and me and him really pulled off some stellar pit stops. And really, if it wasn't for Edward and the way we worked together, I don't think we would have finished 1st and 2nd. We tried to back up to Lee, which is, of course, Edward's teammate, and he said, no, you're not doing that, and just kept backing up too. So we gave it a shot, but for you to come in the top 3 in these kind of races where it's all about pit strategy and just making the right moves at the right time, can't really be too disheartening about it. 2nd place is always the first loser, but it was definitely a really good pleasure to work with Edward. It's been a while since I've worked with him like that, and for us to pull off a 1-2 like that was a pretty cool deal.
All righty, copy that. Now, Travis, you had a question for Mitchell about how he felt about the season we just finished up.
Hey, Mitchell Reeves, this is Travis Brown in the KMA TV booth. How was your season? Did you have a great time?
No, it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we didn't get to make a lot of the races this year just because of personal stuff and with work and trying to get real race cars together and stuff. But it was really interesting. It was kind of interesting to watch KMA kind of branch out to a new beginning with open setups and bringing that into the table. It kind of made a little bit more of a versatility race and made it more of not just a driver's race, but a crew chief's race. And you kind of saw who had the upper advantage on that, which made it a little bit interesting. And it brought some new guys in here. But, I was hearing some rumors about maybe going back to fixed setups. And we hope to see these guys back that's join here at KMA after the open setups deal. It's been a lot of fun. But, it's going to be interesting to see how the next season comes along for sure.
Oh, copy that, Mitchell. That's really cool to see you out there in the real world of racing. So, hey, good luck and good job this season.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to Overtop Paints and Designs, KMA Racing first and foremost, Southeast Motorsports. I want to appreciate all my teammates for not showing up tonight. Just everybody that makes this deal happen, Richie B's Pizza, GW Graphics, Pro Automotive. If it wasn't for them guys, it wouldn't happen. And last certainly not least, Scott Kuliak for literally giving up all of his time to race to broadcast to the fans. If it wasn't for Scott, none of this stuff would be going on. So I can't thank him enough, and Southeast out.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Mitchell.
All righty. Thank you, Mitchell Reeves. All right, but the man of the hour, Edward Bray. How about it, Edward? Have you got a copy?
Got a copy, Scott. How you guys doing?
Well, I tell you, you had me and Travis on pins and needles because we're looking at Paul Pellizier on lap 6, and he's like motivating around. He's all green flag, and then all of a sudden, he ducks into pit row, and Travis is like, whew. What were your thoughts right there when you knew that Paul did not have enough fuel?
Between Mitchell and myself, and Lee Staples, we were all talking and planning. And as soon as I heard that he hadn't pit yet, we were like, yeah, it's ours. Basically it was okay when it gets into that last lap. Is Mitchell gonna be able to have a run on me? Is somebody gonna be pull up behind him and help push him forward? But throughout the whole race, that outside line just could not get any runs.
Alrighty, I would like to know a little bit more about Black Talon Racing, and I would also like to know a little bit more about some of the specialty groups that you're involved in with your biker organization.
Yeah, Black Talon Racing was created by Lee Staples and myself, sub-team under KMA. He and I have learned, so much as teammates racing with KMA, which, big shout out to the KMA family, big shout out to you, Scott, for creating this league. I'm sort of supporting BACA, which is Bikers Against Child Abuse. It's a big, huge nationwide organization. They pretty much are the protectors of the different child abuse that you have out there. They basically help keep the child's self-esteem and motivation and up high. Know that they are protected. That whatever happened in the past, that we got a bunch of bikers that actually have their back. So it's a big, huge thing. It's definitely close to my heart, and I'm looking forward to progressing more with them as time progresses. I mean, it's a long process to get in, but it's all well worth it.
Very nice, very good. Now, one more question. This was our first full-length series where we strayed away from the super speedways. We ran New Hampshire, we ran Phoenix, we ran Bristol. We ran tracks that I had never even heard of. What do you think the general atmosphere at the end of this grueling 15-week series is? The guys that asked to be pulled off at the speedways, do you think they're going to be wanting the speedways back, or do you think they're ready for New Hampshire on Monday?
I believe they're ready for New Hampshire. I know that we've done a lot of speedways in the past. Everybody wanted something different. I think everybody they went to different tracks, mimicking the NASCAR schedule. It basically helps everybody with the racing. It's just not going fast. Now you're actually on these other tracks, actually having to drive the cars. You're having brake and throttle control. Where can I get back on that throttle, and where can I not get back on that throttle? So, to me, it helps everybody learn how to drive the cars, trucks. It makes everybody better drivers.
All righty, a lot of good information right there. All right, congratulations, Edward Bray, bringing her home tonight in the final race of the Friday Night Flight Series. Good job, Edward Bray.
Congrats,
Thanks,
Edward.
Scott, and big shout out to you for putting these on and creating this league. Like I said, big shout out to the KMA family, all our fans, and big shout out to Natalie out there that's watching.
Alrighty, big shout out there to Natalie indeed. The Reaper has won the final race of the Friday Night Fight Series. Good job, Reaper.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, Joel, as we, Joel, I'm so excited. Travis, how about I just call you Gilligan? Will that work?
Absolutely, Captain. Hey, Captain.
All righty, Gilligan. So we're going to be looking at our race summary here. And we're looking at laps completed of 100, total laps of 100. Lead changes of 12. Small amount of lead changes. One caution, totaling out 12 laps. All right, give us an oral summary.
We got 12 laps led, only one caution tonight for 4 laps. Not a great race. We had green flag pit stops. We see some 3 wide with the lap traffic, some 2 wide racing. Incredible racing, awesome way to end the season too. To get all the drivers strong and get them ready for next season, you know. And we all try to be strong and try to be smooth every race, you know. And it feels great to be a champion. It feels really good. I can't wait till next season for sure.
All right, now I got to stop you. You're jumping the gun. I got to stop you because I've got one more special interview to do. One more very special interview. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead, Scott.
All right, joining us in the booth is Travis Browder, our Friday Night Flight Series winner after 15 grueling races. Travis Browder blowing his engine early on tonight's race, but with a 75-point lead. Travis Browder, you have won Friday Night Flights. Talk to me.
Thank you, Scott. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to all the fans that I love and all the fans. It's been a great season for me. Been running very, very smooth all season. You know, just getting good finishes, run consistent each and every week. Just try to get good points and strategy and all that stuff, and racing the track all season. And that's how you get championships. Just get good points and run very smooth and do good strategies.
All righty, good job, Travis Browder. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up. This is our Friday Night Flight Series final race. Travis Browder winning Tuesday Series. Travis Browder winning Friday Series, and Ryan Kuhn winning the Monday Series. We'll be back at you tomorrow for the Slammin' Saturday 100 laps of Talladega in the trucks. Well, what do you think about that? How about that, Travis?
That'll be very, very fun to watch for sure. I love Talladega and in the trucks, so it should be very interesting to watch.
All righty, we'll catch you on the flip side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Scott Kolovic. He is Travis Browder, and this is KMA TV. I'll catch you on the flip side, Travis.
Thank you, Captain. Have a good night, fans.